Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Jason, Leon, and Pierre here. Welcome to the live. We'll be starting in a couple minutes. We'll give you guys a couple extra minutes for other people to file in. Hope you guys are enjoying your Monday night.
Yeah, I want to give Jason some credit. Jason reached out to me, said, "You think we should do a live?" And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And then I wrote him back about 20 minutes later. I said, "Let's do it." I think it's the right thing to do because I kind of have I have some information that I can share with everyone that kind of demystify some of this. I think there's some blaming going on, that maybe is pointed in the wrong direction. I'm seeing some comments about this or that. So, I just want to kind of talk through it with everybody, and I'm sure Jason and Leon want to share their thoughts,
No,
but also just one, but also maybe some workarounds here that people can take part in.
I just want to yell at people.
Yeah, and Mikey's, hey, you won't. I don't. I'm not a crier. Okay, so we won't see tears. So if you've tuned in to see me cry, well, that won't happen.
I have no tears left after today.
Internally, I'm sad and upset, but I want to at least share some thoughts around, the logistics of this and kind of why we are here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and listen, the pinstripe collection will not roll out here in the U.S. now because of these changes.
I mean, we have several things in the hopper with that will not be rolling out here in the United States.
Real men cry. Yes, I do agree with that. I'm not saying that men shouldn't cry. I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying that I'm not a big crier, but I certainly don't look down on men that do. That's everyone's prerogative, I guess.
And for all those in the comments, I've seen it a couple of times. R.I.P. Toppers. Toppers ain't going anywhere. I just want to get that out of the way.
No. All right. So let's get started here, Leon. Let's get it started.
All right. So welcome to the vault, everybody. Leon, Jason, and Pierre here. It's kind of an emergency stream, I guess. So hope you guys enjoy the episode. Pierre, take it away.
I'm an emergency, but I think it's relevant. So,
yeah,
listen, I want to talk through a little bit around this topper stuff, right? So, first I want to start with this first piece, which is I see a lot of people saying New Era did this or New Era did that. New Era didn't do anything. So I just want to kind of be clear around that, just to kind of share why this happened. I think I have a pretty good understanding of it now at this point. So what's real here is that every store signs a contract, right? That pretty much stipulates you can't sell internationally. And that's a reality. That's not something that's just made up. That's a reality. Now, was that always enforced? No, it wasn't. And listen, we benefited from it, right? Because I don't know about everybody else out here, but I can tell from this is a lot of people in a live stream, right? They have 300 off the bat like that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people care about this. It's because, Pat is in that upper echelon, right? He's like there with John Jay and T800 John and Justin and all those creators. He's right there. And rightfully so. The guy is created what I think are some of the best hats on the planet of late. And, but here's the deal, right? The bad guy in all of this, in terms of what I see or how I understand it, is Fanatics. So I'm going to kind of put it out there that Fanatics really runs the e-commerce for MLB, NFL, NBA. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we should not be blaming New Era. The reality is Fanatics is the one that doesn't want this happening, because I want you all to put this in perspective, right? Fanatics is a monster. an absolute monster in terms of the size, their power, and what they want to attain, right? So when you think about it, they also have visibility too, because they're the e-commerce giant, right? And what they're able to do is see exactly what is purchased where and where it's going and blah, 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 blah. And if you're in Fanatics shoes, right? And you've got a stranglehold on the business, and you see someone like Toppers. Now, again, this is what I'm kind of putting together, right? Toppers is selling hats at a remarkably low price, and they're getting it to people faster than most domestic companies are.
Ridiculous.
That's where this is coming from. So I gotta be honest with you all. You know, New Era, why would New Era not want Toppers selling a ton of hats? Like, it's stupid, right? It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. So, like, I don't know. I just don't think. I think folks are like emotional, and I get it, man. People are gonna laugh, right? Because it's hats. Like, there's probably some people watching us who are like, oh god, these guys are all dark about this. But because, you know, places like Toppers are what helped build and strengthen a community, because the Cool Table used to consist of just Hat Club. I want you to think back when the hype started to really ramp up, right? Hat Club or You Were Dub, all that kind of stuff. I think the first real contender was My Fitteds, right? My Fitteds got in there and started like slugging it out with Hat Club a little bit. And then My Fitteds got a little friend in the game. They got Toppers coming in there, and they're slugging it out with them too. And it ended up creating this huge cultural shift, and the community grew, right? So there wasn't just a Cool Table now. It was just cool to be in hats. And Toppers was a big part of that. Does that make sense? Absolutely. But Fanatics doesn't want anyone cutting in on their take. Period. Like, why would they? They're a behemoth, right? And what does that say to me? That shares to me the power of this hat community and Toppers specifically, what they were able to do. Toppers out of Austria was able to raise so many red flags that they said, hey, listen, we gotta, like, you know, this is to me, it's like corporate bullying, but it's all legal. You know, like at the end of the day, I mean, you know,
Fanatics just wants New Era to enforce their own rules.
Yeah,
essentially.
Listen, I mean, yeah, and they want to enforce the rules because the rules benefit them. But if it didn't benefit them, they wouldn't want to enforce the rules. I just think it's an interesting how you see this going down, but it's a testament to the power of Toppers and what Pat was able to do over there. Honestly, you know,
and really a relatively short time too.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, listen, it didn't take very long, and
no,
I'm not saying this. I put Pat with John Jay, T800 John, Justin, these great creators that we're seeing out there that have done just fantastic things. I put them right there. And, you know, listen, boycott Fanatics. I mean, you can't really, because, I mean, you know, you want to buy a baseball jersey. I mean, you're kind of at the mercy of them. But I just got to tell you, like, I don't feel good about pointing blame at the wrong entity.
Right.
That's all. So when I see New Era did this, New Era didn't do shit, man. New Era didn't do nothing. New Era is a speck of dust in the world compared to Fanatics. I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Go look at any Fanatics website. I mean, there's millions of them out there. New Era makes up a sliver of their inventory. A sliver.
I mean, they sell freaking spatulas, for God's sakes. I mean, their SKUs run
chains,
thousands and thousands deep. But you all have to understand, like, where this is coming from. It's coming from a big corporate entity that wants to control what they control. So people were like, oh, it's because of colorways. Like, so for example, like I heard one person say it was Hat Club because Hat Club didn't like the fact that Toppers was able to put out Seattle Mariners hat in Seattle Supersonic colors that they weren't allowed. Come on, man. You're serious? You think that's what did it? Come on, man. Nobody cares about that. Like, this is bigger shit, man. This is not about a colorway of a Seattle Supersonics hooked Seattle Mariners hat. This is just, it's big corporate stuff, man. And like at the end of the day, you know, that's what it is. Now, I do want to share, like back in the day, you know, I remember when I was, you know, when I started to really get intimately involved in hats from Japan or from Just Fitted. Like I remember this, right? I never bought directly from them.
You can't.
I had people out there, like Leon and I would be messaging back and forth with this guy named Peter, and Peter would be getting us our stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, man. I think like when it comes down to it, right? Like it's almost like it's going to make Topper's hats more desirable, in my opinion, or even Fam. Like I don't want to leave Fam out of this. Fam can't do it either. So nobody can do it anymore. Hat Club used to be able to ship internationally, right? No more. They're not going to be able to anymore. They're not going to be able to send anything to Europe. It's everybody. Everybody is – this is being enforced with everybody. So that just goes to show what waves Topper specifically was probably making. Yeah. You know? I mean, because to make it so they want to cancel it all, you know, no, stop it all. Like, it's crazy, man. I mean, you know – but I certainly think there are ways around this, like, and you're all going to figure it out. It's not about, there's nothing illegal. These aren't Cuban cigars. There's nothing illegal about us having proxies in another country, you know, that source our hats for us. I mean, you know, it's not something that I've been asked to talk about, but I've been there before. I've been there before, and I've done it before.
And Leon can probably talk a little bit to this. I mean, he's got to do it even for some U.S. sites.
Mm-hmm. His stuff comes to me.
Yeah, newarcap.com.
I very rarely buy stuff directly and ship it to my house. Very rarely. Probably 97% goes to a proxy. So,
Mark, you don't have to worry about me buying Culture Kings, but listen, like Culture Kings is another example. Listen, they cracked down on Culture Kings before. You know what Culture Kings did? They're opening stores out here. Mm-hmm. Why do you think they're doing that? Because as bad as their product is right now, they'll at least be able to sell to Americans.
At least through the store. I haven't confirmed or anything whether they'll still be able to do it online.
No, they will. No, they will.
They will. Okay.
Absolutely. Once you open that gate, you're able to do it.
Okay.
Once you're approved, you're able to do it.
Right.
You just have to have a location in the United States. So, I don't know. Like, does this all make sense to everybody? I don't know if I explained it clearly enough.
Yeah, no, I think you did. Basically, to recap, is like Fanatics has agreements with basically all the leagues, all the teams, to sell their products, for the most part, in the United States.
They run the e-commerce for all of those big organizations.
Yep. So whenever you go to shop,
you go on these websites, just for everybody else, before you go on, Jason, just for everybody out there, like if you go into Lids, right, lids.com, which is run by Fanatics, and you go and you look at, let's say this hat was on there, let's say, and you look for it in a 7 1/4, then you're like, oh shit, they don't have it there. So then you go to, you know, MLB.com. And guess what? They don't have it there either. They're out of the same exact sizes because it's all coming from the same place.
Yep.
And I don't know if people necessarily realize that.
Yeah, there's 3 distribution centers for Fanatics in the United States. Mm-hmm. But yeah, basically they want what they consider a fair playing field by New Era enforcing their own rules for all of their clients. So they can't sell across geographic regions that are predetermined. From my understanding, U.S. and Canada is one region. So U.S. stores and Canadian stores will still be able to ship across the border. But they won't be able to ship to overseas. Australia and Asia are like one region. Latin America is a region. And then Europe is a region. So you'll be able to sell within those regions. You just can't sell across the regions.
Yeah, listen, you know, some of it is probably got more complexity than what we just kind of talked about and what Jason recapped. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much the gist of it, right? But I do want to share that, everyone's smart enough to figure out how to do this. You just got to find the right people,
right?
Honestly, because
the
end of the day, it's going to make these hats more desirable,
right? I mean, there's several options for everybody out there trying to get hats from a different region. First option is to know somebody that lives there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody you trust. Hey, can you go grab this hat for me off this website? They order it, they ship it to themselves, and they ship it on to you. Another option is what's called a reshipping service. Basically, they give you an address in that region. You order things directly yourself, have it shipped to that address, and then they will forward it on to you. A lot of times they'll even hold on to things and let you build up a bigger box so it's cheaper to ship. Stuff like that is basically what Leon does with Pierre. Pierre is a reshipper for Leon. And then the third option is, and this will probably crop up a lot more if you want to go this route, is to find a reseller in the European region or in a different region, wherever that you're looking for hats. Those are three solid options. I'm sure there are other ways around it, but those are the three main ones.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I want to make sure that we get out too is Houston Vault isn't going to stop showing top. We have an international audience, so like for us, it might be salt in the wound for some folks, but we're going to continue to highlight toppers. I'm going to continue to show it on my Instagram, all that stuff, because at the end of the day, man, I mean, this guy is still such an important component of the hat community and the hat world. And, I'm a huge supporter, so I'm going to continue to be, no matter what that entails. Even this is in support of Pat, and anyone who has hats shipping from there now, there's no worries there. Like, people are like worried if the hat's going to get there. They're going to still get there. I mean, it's not done until September 1st. So, but I think like, this is something that we're all going to work through together, and certainly we're not going to stop supporting Pat and showing his stuff on Views from the Vault. And if some people get like a little salty because we're showing those things and they can't get a hold of them, well, listen, that's still my commitment to Pat and his business, because we do have an international audience, believe it or not. I think 10 to 15% of our audience is from Europe. So, it's also showing the growth here at Views from the Vault. But any other thoughts, guys?
No, I just want to, I know it sucks for the collector, but obviously, we want the stores and everything to abide by the rules and not get themselves in trouble and not get themselves shut down. So we completely understand why the stores have to implement this policy. It sucks for us as collectors, but there are ways around it, and I hope you find the appropriate way. Love you, Pat. We're still going to support you.
Yeah, for everyone out there, like, I think a good way to support Pat is, like, if you have it in you, like, go on his site right now and buy a hat, and like,
buy three, buy 4 to get free shipping.
I can't speak for him, right? But I can certainly, I know that this doesn't feel good for him, because he's loved the community he's helped develop here in the U.S. as well. He really does, man. He takes a lot of pride in this. I talk to Pat quite often. I know Jason does too, Leon from time to time. The guy is a super passionate guy. He not only does he love sports, but he just loves hats. He loves being a part of the community, man. There's very few people as invested as him.
Dude, I love the comments here. Yeah, let's go empty Pat's store over the next 15 days.
Yeah, I think that's even, I'm not telling people what to do, but if you have it in you, go buy a hat from his site, and let's send them off with some positive vibes. And if not, you know, and just remember, like, if you want to get a hat, you're going to still be able to get a hat. I mean, because there's ways, man. Like I said, these aren't Cuban cigars. This isn't contraband. This is just, that's a rule that's instated with these new era contracts. You know, it is what it is, right? But Leon, any last thoughts, man?
I mean, I share a lot of the disappointment that you guys stated. A lot of these rules, like you said, aren't new, so they're not like confusing or surprising to me. But on a human level, it just kind of sucks that it's a little bump in the road for him. I love watching him grow and make what he, like, turn himself into a powerhouse, which was amazing. But you know, he'll get through it. And I hope you guys still, you know, everyone out there will still support him. So, you know, it's one of those things. It's nothing completely new to me. I've been dealing with proxies and stuff like that. So, I mean,
you just happen to have a proxy that's free, though.
Yeah.
Which makes it a little bit different, right? Yeah. So I think no. But you're right though, Leon. You know, you've had to deal with the pains of proxying and not being able to have things right away and all that sort of thing. But you know, I think people are going to figure out some stuff on how to get hats. You know, that's what you're going to do. Yeah. I mean, that's what people do.
If you really want it, you will find a way to get it. So
you'll find a way to get it. And listen, there's people out there. The silver lining here is this will help build some community, because, you know, no matter what the end result is, just chatting with someone that you don't know or someone from a different area of the country, those things are what I kind of grew up on in the hat community.
Yeah. Well, put it this way, I would have never been your friend if I hadn't reached out to you and asked you to get me a Yankee hat, of all things. And
right, a Mariano Rivera hat from
Spike Lee's that were
Spike Lee's in New York City.
Only.
That's how you and I met.
Yeah, so
you know, I remember Chris K and I, along with you and TJ, were talking to that guy Peter, and Chris K and I dropped way too much money on a Cincinnati Bengals hat that we thought was so good, but it was actually a clearance hat in local lids.
Yeah,
you know.
So there's just some comments that are coming in here. Like, well, I mean, we can't say for sure. Yeah, toppers might take a hit, but like, we're going to find ways to find the hat. So, I mean, they're still going to sell. I think he's more, I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but like, he's just upset he won't be able to help you guys directly. Like, and then, please go back and watch the beginning of the video. This is not New Era's fault.
No.
I want to reiterate that. Trust me, they'll sell a hat to anybody they can sell a hat to. Like, that's
I know that. Listen, everyone who's writing that, right? This is not New Era. Like they like, there's New Era wants to make money. Like, New Era is not going to say, "Hey, you're doing too well. Like, we don't want you selling anymore, so we're going to cut the." Come on, man. That's not true. That's not what it is.
In fact, I've heard a lot that it works quite the opposite way. The more you sell, the more you get. Like,
that is true. I'm sure allocation doesn't work that way, right? So, like, the stronger history you have, the more you sell, the more you get. Which is why, you know, that's why you get the allocation. But it is just a hat. Yes, babyface hat. It's just a hat. But like, people, like, you gotta understand, like, I think from a community perspective, like, the fact that we had that choice with toppers as well here in the US was something that really changed some things, honestly, because it's like you're always looking for something new and cool, and you were getting it every day from them. You know, every day. And it wasn't like all the same colorway. This was like all kinds of cool different stuff every day. So like, there's something for everybody almost every day. Right. I don't know, but listen, guys, I think this was a good live. I think we kind of cleared some stuff up, and yeah, you know, I think what, you know, if you missed the beginning of this, we're obviously gonna keep it up. Like, we're gonna put it up, we're gonna tag it up and everything. You'll be able to go back and read it. I'm sorry, and watch it. But If there's any other questions, you can always DM me or Jason or Leon, and we can kind of talk through it. But I think it was pretty clear if you just watch the video. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any last words, guys, before we wrap up?
Not that immediately come to mind. But yeah, like you said, feel free to reach out to any of us on the side. We'll do our best to get back to every DM.
I always answer my DMs. So, yeah. So, Jason, anything before we wrap up? I want to make sure I give you a shot, a last shot here. If you have anything else to say.
No.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Leon, big fella, take us away.
Yeah, make sure you guys are dropping a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Link to our Discord available in all videos we upload for Jason, Leon, and Pierre. We're signing out, guys. Have a good night.
See you, everybody.